Let's get more insight from Alejandro Garcia. He's a reporter with Plaza Publica, an online publication in Guatemala. Alejandro, what's been the reaction there to the election of Alejandro Giammattei's victory?
Thank you for having me. Well, it's been varied. People have not been very keen to either of the candidates that would made it into the second round. Actually, 57% of all registered voters didn't show up to vote. So people weren't specifically happy with what happened with the elections, with the second round, and even today that we have the results, people are not necessarily hopeful for what might come next.
What does this mean for the people of Guatemala? Is there a sense it's going to be more of the same, or are they going to see real change this time?
No, actually, people are talking about how this new president might be very similar to our current president, Jimmy Morales. In fact, both have many common people along their side. So a lot of people are just talking about how it will going to be the same thing as ever and the same thing we had for the last 4 years.
Why do you think that turnout was so low?
Hopelessness, I guess. I mean, people weren't hopeful when they saw these two candidates when they made it into the second round. So though not many voters showed up for the first round either, it was a dramatically fall for this Sunday's election. So whenever you talk to people, they were just not hopeful for the two candidates we had left.
Alejandro, what will Giammattei's victory mean for this immigration deal that his predecessor, you mentioned Jimmy Morales, signed with the United States last month? Giammattei has been rather critical of that agreement.
Well, he has, but he has also been willing to negotiate. He has going from one side to the other during the past few weeks. And he actually got together with Secretary McAleenan a few weeks ago, and he said that he wants to know what's on the agreement. There are many specifics that he and his administration don't know, and they are willing to talk about it. So even if he proved to be against it at the beginning, he is willing to negotiate. So I don't think much is going to change with him.
Interesting. Now, this conservative leader, Giammattei, had previously vowed to build a wall like U.S. President Donald Trump. His wall was going to be along Guatemala's border with Mexico, and he was saying that his goal was to encourage citizens to stay home. Did he talk about this wall much during the final days of campaigning, and is there a sense whether he's actually going to go through with it?
Well, actually, what he did mention was his intention was on building an economic wall, not an actual physical wall. What he said is that he wants to stem migration through employment, through investment, through international investment, and giving locals the opportunity to have a better life. So when he talked about a wall, I know he mentioned an economic wall as a way to stem migration, not an actual physical
Not a physical barrier. Understood.
Yeah.
And when does he actually take office? When is he sworn in?
In January, the 14th.
All right, we'll leave it there. Thank you so much, Alejandro Garcia.
Thank you for having me.